Hello, and welcome back to Tyrion Cuthbert, attorney of the Arcane. My name is Maybe Dennis, and last time we went to school. We started from the point of view of Wallace something, I forgot, but he was talking with the headmaster about a student that passed away, and he studies in the school of necromancy. Then we fast forwarded to us, Tyrion, with Celeste, studying at the library. Celeste learned a lot of new spells, and then we met with, Eris, who is, unusually familiar, and Wallace, who, we saw before. We also met with the teacher. I think her name was Bellwether. Yes, Bellwether. Catherine Bellwether, who later on died, and seems like Wallace is suspected of murder. And now we're just investigating. We met with the headmaster. We met with one of the cooks, which I think it was Catherine. And yeah, we're just gonna continue. There's some really weird, glitchy stuff happening, and I know it's like part of the plot. I think it's got something to do with Eris, because she's clearly a very important character that's going to be relevant in later cases as well. But I can't wait until we see that resolved, because right now it's just really creepy. I know it's intentional. But we finished examining this area, so I am going to go to the hallway. Yes, to here, because one of the kitchen staff said that we might be able to run into, I believe his name was Jan, the custodian, in the hallway. So we're gonna go to the hallway to check it out. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, it's not Valerie. Valentina. You spot Valentina again. She's speaking with someone in a blue-collar uniform. Oh, could he be the custodian that she mentioned? Jan, where have you been? You still haven't fixed the plumbing in the kitchen sink. Wait, what? Why is it a question mark? Huh, we met them already. Or maybe they're twins then. Huh. Ugh. Someone just died. Can't we take the day off for once? You're causing trouble for me and Valentina. Please be reasonable. Okay, so this is Valerie, and they look identical. Wait, why is Valentina suddenly speaking in third person? Oh, hello? Valentina? Oh, my apologies. I can see why you're confused. I'm not Valentina. I'm her sister Valerie. Valerie Ionis, kitchen staff. Are you trying to trick us or something? You look exactly the same. You remember reading a book about something like this before? You two are identical twins, aren't you? You're both genetically identical to each other. Yes, we are. I don't know what voice to give her, because I gave Valentina a southern voice just because I ran out of voices. I'll give her a British one. Yes, we are. Technically, I feel like a lot of my female voices are just random British ones. Wait, this means that she was the one who discovered the body alongside Valentina. Since we have you here, do you mind if I ask you some questions about what happened? I'm terribly sorry. But I've already spent a lot of time looking for Jan here. Her eyes perked up. I'm really behind in my work. But Jan was also nearby when we discovered the body. I'm sure he can answer your questions. Okay, both sisters are dodging it like all hell. Before you have a chance to object, Valerie quickly walks away. Wait! Do you want me to go after her? I'm pretty sure I can catch up to her. No, we don't want to scare those two more than we already have. Ugh. Anyways, Valerie said that Jan was around when the murder happened. Maybe he saw something. Jan Hughes, occupation custodian. Jan, was it? Do you mind if we ask you some questions about what happened? Ugh, really? Well, whatever. At least I have an excuse to take a break now. But first, did you know I'm an attorney? No, he doesn't. Not his department. Okay. Let's look around in this room first. It's the entrance to the lecture hall. The door says it's lecture hall 2H. Wow, that's... Whoa, what's this? Entrance to the lecture hall 2F. Don't tell me they have one for every lecture hall. 2D. Oh my god, they do. 2B. This is a lecture hall where the Bellwether body was found. Storage closet. Doesn't appear to have anything of note inside. Wow, I can't believe they actually made, like, dialogue for each one of these. That means there's probably... Okay, no. Maybe it's because it's the only thing here. Detect magic!
Arcanum!
Nope, nothing here. Alright, I don't think there's anything else. I can't find anything else with my super fast mouse. Alright, let's talk to, Jan Hughes. Oh, I said Janice by accident. So, Jan, are you part of the staff here? Yep, I'm a janitor. I clean, and I do odd jobs here and there. Well, apparently that's all he has to say about that. The murder. Valerie mentioned that you were close to Lecture Hall 2B before they found Bellwether. What were you doing when the twins discovered the body? I was cleaning the halls. Bellwether knocked over a vase, and there were shards and dirt everywhere. Wait, you saw the professor before the twins arrived? Yeah, like you said, she broke the vase right in this hallway. It was probably 20 to 30 minutes before the twins found the body. You might have been the last person to see her alive. Did you see where she went after breaking the vase? Yeah, I think she went to that room over there. He points to 2B, gotcha. Did you see anyone else that entered the lecture hall? I'm honestly not sure. I was more worried about cleaning the mess she made. Well, did you notice anything off about her? She was in a pretty bad mood. But honestly, that's pretty normal for her. She was walking real slow. I didn't notice her at first, and she basically shoved me out of the way. After that, she knocked over that vase. I didn't even say anything after that, but she yelled at me to be quiet. Did you see where she went after that? Not really, but the only thing in that direction is Lecture Hall 2B. I can't imagine her going anywhere else. Jan's statement. 30 minutes before the Giannis twins found the body, Bellwether walked past Jan in the West Wing hallway. He was in her path, so she shoved him out of the way. After that, she knocked over a vase and shattered it. Even though Jan didn't say anything to her, she yelled at him to be quiet. After this interaction, she walked into the Lecture Hall 2B. Did she say be quiet when we were in the library? I don't remember. Maybe that's one of the things that one of the puppets, I forgot what they're called, these things, can say because they have her voice. Catherine Bellwether. What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether? I heard that she had a pretty bad relationship with the staff. She had a bad relationship with just about everyone. Students, the other teachers, I can't think of many people who actually did get along with her. I'm sure you had your own share of bad experiences with her. Yeah, she always yelled at me when I was taking too long to get a job done. I hate to say it, but things are a lot more peaceful around here without her. That's blunt, to say the least, but you can't exactly blame him for thinking that. Firing the academy staff. Valentina mentioned something interesting. Did you tell her that Bellwether was going to fire the academy staff? Yeah, I remember that. What made you think that she was going to do something like that? You know those arcane constructs in the library? Bellwether was the one that ordered them. Oh, she was going to replace them with AI. AI constructs. Oh yeah, they're so cool. Well, a few weeks ago, I overheard a meeting she was having with the headmaster. From what I heard, she was planning to order more constructs and entirely replace the staff. Oh. Well, I'm sure the headmaster rejected her proposal. I don't know. From the way she was talking, it sounded like he didn't have a say in the matter. But only the headmaster would have the authority to fire the staff. Why would she be that confident? Dunno. All I know is that she hated having common folk in the school, even among the staff. She was really miffed that he was hiring common folk from the community center. Bellwether's plan. Supposedly, Bellwether told the headmaster that she was planning to fire all the academy staff and replace them with arcane constructs. This plan was overheard by John Hughes a few weeks ago. Okay, no more things here, but let's see if... what does she have to say about her reputation? Man, I still can't believe someone offed Bellwether. It's all a little unreal. I'm sure you have mixed feelings about what happened. Yeah, I feel like I should be happy, but honestly, I don't know what to feel. It's easier not to think about it. Alright, what do you have to say about your own statement? I just wanted to go over your statement again, Jan. Are you sure you didn't leave out any details? I'm pretty sure. But I wasn't paying that much attention. I definitely didn't think the workday would end with a homicide. Anything? Can you use magic? No you can't. Okay. How's working under Headmaster Redmond? It's great. I owe a lot to him for getting me this job. But I suppose things never last. You must be talking about the Bellwether plan to fire the staff. It just occurred to me why they made twins and why they looked alike. It's the same cost. No, I'm sure there's probably going to be a plot significance to, like, you know, maybe, you know, they could switch place at any time or something, like usual twin shenanigans, you know. Are you friends with the Giannis sisters? I wouldn't say we're friends exactly. We do work together a lot. There was a lot of give and take amongst the co-workers. Us commoners got to stick together after all. After a while, we even made a system to warn each other about where Bellwether was. Bellwether was a kind of menace here, wasn't she? Oh man. What about the smell? Are you aware of the foul smell in Lecture Hall 2B? Yeah. Luckily, Arya isn't letting anyone into the lecture hall till the investigation's over. But I'll probably have to get to it eventually. Ugh. Alchemical messes are always a pain to clean up. I'm not looking forward to that. I wonder if Arya can help me out like she used to. Wait, do you personally know Prosecutor Steelwind? She studied here a few years ago. She'd always help me out using her magic. I miss that. Aww. I wonder if there's gonna be more about, Prosecutor Steelwind. Ugh, I just really hope we don't lose our jobs to those constructs. Well, if there's any silver lining to Bellwether's death, is that she can't carry out her plan. Damn, that's kinda heartless, man. While I do want to catch the real murderer, I don't really have much pity for people who abuse positions of power. Well, I can't blame you. I'm sure many people feel the same way. I'm kinda curious, so what happens if we present this directly? Have you met with Prosecutor Steelwind? Oh, met her before? Not recently, but she used to go to school here a few years ago. What was she like back then? Oh, she was great. She'd always reprimand Bellwether when she picked on the students and staff. She was probably the only person in the school that would stand up to her. The students elected her as student body president, and she took that job pretty seriously. Wow, I never expected that. Things were a lot better when she was here. Aww. Okay, what about... Okay, so you already talked about the professors. Oh, so here we have the icons. Oh no, they actually have different expressions and slightly different angles and shading. So I do think that there are, like, individual artworks. Ah, so Valentina is the one with the happier expression, while Valerie has, like, a more flat one. I'm gonna present Eris. Nothing, gotcha. What about Wallace Nightgrave? No, never mind. So Jan, are you part of the staff here? Yep, I'm a janitor. I clean and I do odd jobs here and there. Oh. Well, apparently that's all he has to say about that. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. I think I presented what I want to present. What about the autopsy? Oh, no, a lot of this is similar. Yeah, I can't really find anything else. Well, in that case, let's see if we can finally talk to, Wallace. Oh, there we go. It's over. My life is over. Wallace? Who are you? What do you want? Wallace, it's Celeste and Tyrion. From the library, remember? Oh, right. How are you doing? Apparently, not well. Please tell me you're gonna get me out of here. I kept telling them that I didn't do it, but they still won't let me go. I'm sorry, Wallace, but they found traces of necromancy magic on the body. Ah! And because of that, they're going to push your case to trial. What? Are they gonna execute me? This can't be happening. I can feel these walls closing in. Oh, I can't breathe. Please calm down. We know that you're innocent. With that said, would you let me represent you in court? Oh, right. You did say that you're a lawyer, but I don't really have any money to pay you with. Don't worry about that. For now, let's just focus on getting you acquitted. What? Do they seriously want to help me? No, they must want something from me, but... Well, I guess it doesn't matter anyways. It's not like I have anything else to lose. Not the exact reaction you were expecting, but at least he's cooperating. So, oh wait, can we... give her a genome attorney? Oh man, no one's responding. I'm kind of sad. I'm not too surprised. New stuff? There's only one locked door that leads into the cell. The door seems to be locked by some kind of magical mechanism. Oh, it's gonna be the same thing, I think. The torches, yeah, This dialogue is the same as when we visited, wait, what? It's, you doubt that Wallace would try something like that. Okay. This was almost the same dialogue as with,
Arcanum.
you know, with Celeste. Alright, let's talk to him. Alibi. I don't understand. I was with you in the library the entire time. Why do they still think that I'm the murderer? It makes no sense. Unless... You told the Inquisition, right? Did you tell them that I'm innocent? Did they frame me? Well, we did, but as we said before, there are traces of necromancy on the body. And with the state of the body, they believe that she was murdered with a necromancy spell. Huh? Apparently, that makes you their prime suspect. I see. Spell Compendium. Wallace, we heard about the type of magic that you're studying. Don't worry. The headmaster explained it to us already. You just want to use necromancy to become a doctor, right? I understand that you have reservations about talking about your magic, but in order to build a case for you, I need your spell compendium. I don't have one. I know, Eris already told us about that. That's why she gave us a blank one for you to attune to. Do I have to? It's your life on the line, and we need all the information we can to help you. Sorry, you're right. I'll attune to it. Wallace's Spell Compendium. It contains formulas for the following spells. Prestidigitation. No, not that one again. I think that was the one that makes you, like, do some flashy stuff with your hands. Mend Wounds. Illusory Disguise. Oh no. Revive. Animate Corpse. And Necrotic Blight. Prestidigitation. Yep, I'm just gonna skip this one. Mend Wounds. School. Necromancy. Men As. Gesture. None. Duration. 1 minute. Concentration. No. Heals the wounds of the target over the casting time. Wounds on the target are magically healed without leaving any scars or bruises. This spell can't restore missing limbs, nor can it revive someone who has already died. Illusory Disguise. Illusion. Illusio. None. No gesture. Duration. 1 hour. Concentration. No. Places an illusion on the target to completely change their visual appearance. The disguise moves with the target for the duration. Ah, whoops, I skipped the bottom part. We can check that out right now. Disguise can make the target look 1 feet taller or smaller, or larger or smaller. Elements hidden by the spell are made invisible, and elements created by the spell are purely visual. You cannot make physical contact with it. Ah, that's pretty cool. So the one larger and the smaller is going to be relevant. Revive. School. Necromancy. Incantation. Vivify. Gesture. None. Duration. Instant. Concentration. No. Floods the target with life energy in an attempt to resuscitate them. It does not heal wounds sustained. Results may vary, but it cannot resuscitate someone who has been dead for more than a minute. Oh, wow. Animate Corpse. School. Necromancy. Incantation. Neck Cross. Gesture. None. Duration. 8 hours. Concentration. No. Reanimates the target using life energy. Creates an undead minion for the duration. The minions follow the caster's orders, but its intelligence is limited and it cannot speak. It cannot speak. Gotcha. The minion can end the spell prematurely, but will only do so if ordered to by the caster. Once the spell ends, the undead will return to being a dead body. Oh man. So it's possible that, like, for example, he could have used this and then got the professor to walk to the room, which might be why she was walking slowly. And, you know, maybe she was not caring about people. One thing to note is that she did speak, but I'm assuming that's going to be something related to the constructs. Who knows what the constructs can say at the moment, though. So far, she said be quiet, which may be one of the lines. Necrotic Blight. School. Necromancy. Incantation. Blato. Gesture. Point index finger. Duration. Instant. Concentration. No. Pulls out. Oh wow. Pulls all of the life energy from the target, resulting in instant death. Wow. That's not good. This spell does not wound the target, nor does it leave any physical evidence, but still leaves a magical trace. Okay, so they think this is the one that did it in. You understand the reason why he's studying this type of magic, but the spells in his compendium are pretty gruesome. It's a little terrifying that spells like this even exist. Sorry, I know I was being difficult. A long time ago, I showed my compendium to someone I trusted. After she saw my necromancy spells, she told everyone in the academy. That's also when Professor Bellwether started coming after me. I'm sorry, that must have been harder for you. But at least you had Eris. Yeah, I did. Wallace and Eris. How did you and Eris become friends anyway? Another hint of fear from her. Wait, why fear? Are her fears related to Eris? Uh-oh, it's a bit of a strange story. Sometimes the other students would steal the ID number off my locker. Then they switch it with one on another locker. I thought it was funny whenever the owner got angry at me. Eris had a bit of a reputation around our school. I'm not sure why, but everyone was scared of her, even the students from the nobility. It was probably due to some baseless rumor. One day, someone snatched my nameplate with hers. I was so scared when she approached me, I couldn't even say anything. But she didn't get angry like the others. She just apologized and gave me back my nameplate. After that, she randomly started talking to me whenever she saw me. We became friends after that. That's nice. It's a good thing he was able to find a friend in a place like that. Necromancy. So, I have to ask, if it caused you so much trouble, why are you still studying necromancy? I want to use it to become a doctor. The headmaster told us the same thing. But you could have just stopped after learning the healing spell. Why are you learning spells that can steal people's life force and raise undead? Life and death are two sides of the same coin. That's the key principle behind necromancy. The first undead was actually a failed attempt to resurrect a human using magic. Wow, I never knew that. Right now, basic necromancy can only heal injuries and wounds, but it can't do anything for diseases or deformities. If I could just keep studying, I know that I can create a new type of necromancy. One that can cure disease and save lives. He specifically wanted to cure disease. Did something happen to him to motivate him that much? Catherine Bellwether. I think I can already guess the answer to this question. How is your relationship with Catherine Bellwether? It's exactly as you expect. After word got out about what I was studying, Bellwether would always target me. She started yelling at me for the smallest mistakes. She'd used that to some of the other students too, and she focused on the ones that were poor like me. That's terrible. I'd wake up each day dreading the possibility that she'd notice me in the hallways. I knew how to avoid her and stay out of her way, but sometimes she'd just come looking for me. I can't believe that after everything she did, she's just gone. You must have some kind of mixed emotions about what happened. I honestly don't know how I feel about it. To be honest, I always wish that she would just disappear. But now that it's finally happened, I just feel even more afraid. It feels like she's gonna come back from the grave to haunt me. Even with Bellwether gone, his trauma will still probably linger. I think I'm starting to put things together now. Have you figured something out? Yeah, I just need to take some time to think through everything. The prosecution wants to implicate Wallace despite his alibi. They wouldn't have reason to do this unless the evidence heavily implicates him. How does the evidence implicate Wallace? You've learned that Wallace is a necromancer, and that he's the only person at the academy that's capable of high-level necromancy. So, magic trace of necromancy was found on the body. I think that was it. There's a trace of necromancy on the body. This means that they think Wallace used one of his necromancy spells. Even without seeing the traces, it's pretty obvious that magic was used on the body. Right, because there aren't any wounds on it. And the autopsy report found no signs of poison or disease. Which spell do they think Wallace used? If I know Prosecutor Steelwind, she probably already has a theory on which spell he might have used. The prosecution will probably argue that Wallace used one of his spells to kill Bellwether. It's gonna be Necrotic Blight. They will probably say he used Necrotic Blight. That makes sense. Necrotic Blight would have drained life force from her body. Bloodstain on her body has been updated in your notes. But that's where the contradiction lies. Let's suppose that Wallace did kill Bellwether using Necrotic Blight. There's something at the crime scene that wouldn't be there if that were true. So what would that be? I guess it would be the blood, right? Because the body was covered in blood. Yeah. Whoa. Necrotic Blight is a spell that doesn't inflict any visible wounds. There shouldn't have been any blood on the body. But then, what really happened? That's the last piece. If I had to guess, the information we need is hidden by one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Valentina. She was definitely hiding something. Did you notice how she reacted when I asked you to scan the room? Yeah, she ran away. She didn't even try to be subtle about it. But the way she reacted, I think she may have been trying to hide herself from your detect magic. It should only mean that there's a magical trace on her. I wonder what she's trying to hide. There's only one way to find out. The next time you see her, can you subtly cast detect magic and scan her? Alright. It's been a while since we talked to her. Valerie also mentioned that they still had work to do that today. She might be back in the Academy's kitchen now. Alright. Well, I don't think there's anything else here, so let's head over to Le Kitchen. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's Valentina in all her guilt. Those two are finally gone. I can finally get some cleaning done. Okay, there she is. Use detect magic to scan her from here. Right. Just don't shout the incantations like you always do. I know that. Alright, here goes. Reparo Arcanum. What the? What is it? There's a trace of magic on her. I knew it. Which school of magic is it from? It's necromancy. There's a trace of necromancy on her. Wait, what? Valentina's magical traces. Valentina has a magical trace of necromancy. Someone cast a necromancy spell on her within the last 48 hours. What do we do now? We're still not sure how this fits in with everything. For now, let's talk to her and see if we got any more information out of her. If all else fails, we can confront her with the evidence we have. Oh, it's you two again. The back? Okay, just relax. All I have to do is repeat what I told them last time. Unfortunately for her, that won't work this time. Magic on the body. Miss Giannis, did you know that there's a trace of necromancy on Bellwether's body? That's what he used to kill the professor, right? A necromancy spell? That's the thing. If that were true, a lot of evidence we found doesn't make sense. I think someone else cast a spell on the body. Is it possible that you saw someone else use magic on Bellwether? You know, Actually, I need to see the autopsy again. So the autopsy says that, body shows traces of necromancy and illusion. Cause of death is not apparent, but is very likely to be caused by necromancy. So this makes me think, like, oh wait, there are no signs of cuts or bruising. I was wondering if she got, like, stabbed, and then they just healed it up, which is why there's, you know, A, there's blood, B, there's no wound apparent, and C, there's traces of necromancy magic, because mend wounds is a, you know, a necromancy spell, and it heals wounds without leaving any scars or bruises. No, definitely not. Calm down, there's no way they know. Her thoughts are like an open book now. If you beat her in an argument, her thoughts might just show you what she's hiding. Valentina Giannis' psychological profile is complete. I wonder if anything changed here. If you use detect magic. Okay, we can't actually see her. So, yep, let's do some battles. Valentina clearly knows more than she's letting on. You found the body alongside her sister, and reacted strangely when you mentioned someone may have used magic on the body. What is she hiding? Let's go. Argument. Miss Giannis, from the beginning, I felt like you've been hiding something from us. There's something that you're not telling us about. Psychological profile, let's see that. Valentina is more concerned with protecting himself than doing the right thing. She'll continue to hide her secret unless she thinks that doing so is dangerous for her. She sees Wallace as a villainous necromancer and will not feel pity for him. My conscience is clear. I told you and the knights everything I know. I've got nothing to hide. I need to stay calm. Okay, this was the image they had when we first learned about arguments. I remember this. So this is fear. And she says her conscience is clear, she needs to stay calm. I think it is intuition, because if her consciousness is clear, then she wouldn't have to, you know, think to herself that she needs to stay calm. Miss Giannis, what you're saying, okay, never mind, it's clearly different. What does that even mean? I don't really know what you're talking about, but I'm telling the truth. Use the eye to look at her thoughts and emotions. Find out which one is the inconsistency with the claim and choose the correct approach. Oh, they gave me a freebie. Woo! Okay. So this is fear, but it contradicts with, I guess? Miss Giannis, it's clear to anyone how nervous you are. I can practically see the fear you're emanating right now. Just tell us the truth. It'll be a lot easier for the both of us. Let's say I were hiding something. which I'm not, by the way. I don't have to tell you anything. Why should I have to tell you anything? I know my rights. Let's see. My client is innocent. By withholding your testimony, you're condemning him to a wrongful conviction. You have nothing to lose by telling us what happened. I know that you're not the murderer. I'll make sure you're protected. You're already giving your statement to the Inquisition. If the truth comes out, what do you think they'll do when you realize you lied to them? It's probably going to be this, because here it says that she's willing to lie to or hide her secrets to protect herself. So by saying I know that she's not the murderer, she's probably a little bit more safe. You have nothing to lose by telling us what happened. Oh no. I know that you're not the murderer, and I'll make sure that you're protected. Why would I ever trust you? I just met you today. Oh, she's right. She has very little reason to trust you. Threaten. You've already given your statement to the Inquisition. If the truth comes out, what do you think they'll do to you when they realize you lied to them? Nah. Who are you trying to protect, Miss Giannis? You're talking a big game. I bet you can't actually prove anything, can you? You think I'm lying to protect someone? I don't know anyone that can use magic. I don't even know any mages. And I definitely didn't see anyone use magic on the body. I guess it would be Valentina's magical traces, right? You can't hide the truth from us, Miss Giannis. What? You said that you never seen a necromancy spell before? If that were true, then why is there a trace of necromancy on you? Wait, what? There's a trace of necromancy on me? Argument 1. What? Did she not know about the spell that was cast on her? No, that doesn't make any sense. If she didn't know about the trace, she wouldn't have avoided Celeste back then. There must be an explanation for this. Do we have the wrong twin? You successfully argued against Valentina Giannis. Necromancy on you. This is crazy. Why is there a trace of necromancy on me? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna be a zombie? That's strange. Is she really unaware that the spell was cast on her? Or is she playing dumb? Why doesn't Valentina know that the spell was necromancy? She knows that someone used magic on her, but she doesn't know that the spell was necromancy. The spell, cast on Valentina healed her, probably. Calm down, Miss Giannis. Not all necromancy spells are related to the undead. Healing spells are also from the school of necromancy. Healing spells? Oh, it was from that one time that she healed that cut. That implies that she knows a mage who studies healing magic. Could that person be a student here? Sorry, I just remember there's something else I had to do. I'll be right back. Hey, come back here. Oh, she ran away again. I can catch her. There's no way she can outrun me. No, the Inquisition is stationed around the surrounding areas. They'd probably intervene if we start harassing one of the witnesses. That's true. But we weren't able to learn anything. Actually, I did learn one thing. She had a friend who cast a healing spell on her. Really? How did you figure that out? Good deductive reasoning. Yes, I didn't read her mind. Wow. Well, healing magic is also a form of necromancy, right? I guess that explains the trace on her. It's a good thing we know Wallace. Otherwise, you may have also thought that a necromancer was trying to kill her. Wait a minute. That's it. What, did you figure something out? This whole time, we've been wondering why there's a trace of necromancy on the body. It isn't because someone attacked Bellwether with a necromancy spell. It's because someone used necromancy to try to heal her. Oh, I see. It doesn't matter what type of necromancy spell someone uses. Spells from the same school of magic leave the same type of trace. It's not just that. The body clearly has blood on it. What would happen if someone used a healing spell on a wooden body? It would close up all the body's wounds. In other words, it would remove any cuts or bruises. Well, interrogating Valentina may have been a dead end, but it still gave us what we needed to win this case. I'm not sure that was a dead end. What do you mean? It's not that suspicious that she asked someone to heal her if she's injured herself. But if it's only that, why would she go through so much trouble to hide it? It's too coincidental. The wounds on the body were healed by an unknown person too. Was it her sister? She said her. And the person who found the body is hiding the identity of a healer. They have to be the same person. I guess that makes sense. So, what do we do now? Valentina is definitely onto us. I doubt we'll get a third chance to speak with her. Hopefully, what we have now is enough to acquit Wallace. You've done everything you can. Use what you've learned to poke holes at the prosecution's case. And if that doesn't work, you can drag Valentina onto the witness stand and pull the truth out of her. You just hope that what she's hiding is enough to acquit Wallace. Alright. Whoa, spoiled Nobo. demand to know why you're still holding on to my rapier. It's a precious family heirloom, and I want it back. It's evidence in the current case. Evidence? The professor was killed with necromancy. Was she, though? Why are you asking me? You're the one investigating this. I suppose it doesn't matter. Just know that I will bring her murderer to justice, no matter who it may be. Huh. Okay, well, we have all the information we need for the first day, and honestly, I feel like the culprit might be a noble just because it seems like the direction that the overall narrative is leaning towards is to change the legal system so it doesn't just benefit nobility. So we're gonna work one step at a time. That's my guess. Maybe it's a girl at the end. I don't know, but let's head to the trial. All right. It's time for the trial. Just take deep breaths and relax. Hi, Tyrion. Ah! Celeste! Don't sneak up on me like that. Why are you so nervous? It's not as though this is your first time defending someone. I can't help it. There's something about this building that just fills me with anxiety. If that's the case, you probably shouldn't have been a lawyer. It's too bad Ruby couldn't make it. I'd say that you should calm down for Wallace's sake, but there's so many people around here, and they're all staring at me. Their eyes are prying into me like a pack of flesh-eating maggots. Gross. Don't worry, Wallace. Our investigation revealed a lot of weaknesses in the prosecution's case. We have a strong case for your acquittal. Okay. See? You can be confident when you want to. It's strange. Something is calming about Wallace's anxiety. It's like he just absorbs attention out of you and into himself. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, epic judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready. Very well. Let's begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwind, could you please list the charges? The defendant is a student at the Wyvern Imperial Academy. Mr. Nightgrave is charged with first-degree murder, negligent misuse of the arcane art, and illegal practice of advanced necromancy. Necromancy? Do you mean to tell me that the defendant is a necromancer? I can't believe it! A necromancer? In this day and age? How could the kingdom let this happen? Your Honor, I'd like to remind the court that they should view my client objectively. Of course, but one can easily see from the list of charges, necromancy plays a large role in the charges. Indeed, the crime occurred within the academy this morning. The victim is Catherine Bellwether, a professor at the school. Although there are no witnesses, traces of necromancy were detected on the body. Furthermore, the autopsy report shows that the body has no physical wounds. I see. Necromancy is the only type of magic that can harm an individual without physically wounding them. Incidentally, the alchemist report shows that... the alchemist report shows no signs of poison or disease. Therefore, one can only conclude that a necromancer had committed the crime. As many of you know, necromancy is held under high scrutiny by the Crown. Aside from the defendant, no other student was permitted to learn advanced necrotic magic. As such, the defendant was the only mage in that building capable of committing the murder. I see. That is certainly compelling evidence. To properly present our case, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand. Commander White, please testify to the court about the Inquisition's findings. Yeah. Witness testimony. It started when the City Watch got a call from the Imperial Academy. Someone was attacked and the whole building was put on lockdown. We set up a perimeter around the area and waited for the lockdown system to deactivate. When we finally got into the building, the prosecutor personally inspected the body and detected traces of necromancy on it. There are no cuts or bruises on the body either. The entire body was clean. With those two pieces of evidence, we concluded that it could only be the necromancy kid that did it. The Inquisition's testimony is just as you expected. You already found and identified the holes in Steelwind's case. All you have to do is find holes in the commander's testimony. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Oh man, I'm kind of mispronouncing some things today because I bit my lip. Oh! Alright, it all started, blah blah blah. What time did this call come in? A little after 3 p.m. It was a few minutes after the murder was discovered. Right, you remember that was around that time the lockdown occurred? We set up perimeter. Right, the lockdown can't be ended manually, so they must have been forced to wait for the 1 hour duration to elapse. How secure was this perimeter? Is it possible that someone just slipped past you? The Inquisition was working in conjunction with the City Watch and the King's Guard. With that many people at the scene, it's very unlikely that anyone escaped unnoticed. True, for better or for worse, the kingdom will act quickly to protect a building filled with nobles. We finally got into the building and we found traces of necromancy. Why did the prosecutor inspect the body instead of the Inquisition? Well, how I conducted the investigation is irrelevant to the proceedings. Or would you like to insinuate that I'm not as competent as Commander White? You don't question her competency, but still a bizarre decision on her part. While the court admits that the prosecution's actions are unorthodox, we see no reason to question the prosecutor's ability. Thank you, Your Honor. There are no cuts and bruises, the body was clean. How carefully was the body checked? Perhaps the prosecution missed out something. The coroner couldn't even find the smallest cut, bruise, or fracture on the body. Furthermore, the alchemist's report shows no signs of poison or disease. The coroner was actually astounded at how unscathed the body was. That makes sense. If someone had used mend wounds on the body, it would have healed even the most minor of injuries. The question is, how do you prove that? With those 2 pieces of evidence, we conclude that it can only be the necromancer kid. And the prosecution believes that my client used necrotic blight? Yep, it's the only way the crime scene makes any sense. Necrotic blight? I'm afraid I've never heard of this spell before. Necrotic blight is a spell that drains the life force from its target. When used on a living human, it makes their bodily functions cease, instantly killing them. I see. What a horrible spell. That child should have never been allowed to learn something like that. What were they thinking? Having that spell is not working in Wallace's favor. We already investigated the crime scene, so we know that the Inquisition's theory contradicts one of the clues that we found. Right, all I have to do is present at that contradiction to court. Okay, so it's going to be, it's probably going to be this. No cuts or bruises, the body was clean. And we can show that the body was bloodied, maybe? So it would be her autopsy? No. Oh, here, bloodstains under the body.
Objection!
Commander White, it appears that you neglected to mention one key detail of the crime scene. Yeah, and what's that? During your testimony, you said that the entire body was clean. I will admit that there weren't any wounds on the body. However, the body was certainly not clean. At the scene of the crime, there was a large pool of blood located where the body was. This blood came from the victim's body, and it was definitely not clean like the commander testified. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I fail to see the significance of this. I'd like to remind the court of the prosecution's case against my client. They're accusing him of murdering the victim using necrotic blight, a spell which would have not physically wounded the victim. So why was there any blood at all? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The fact still stands. There are no wounds on the body, nor were there any reports of poison or disease on the autopsy. There are clearly magical elements in this case. But Catherine Bellwether was bleeding profusely at some point. How else would there be a bloodstain on the body? Do you have an explanation for that, Miss Steelwind? No, I admit the prosecution doesn't have an explanation for that. And while I do find the circumstances questionable, all the other evidence clearly points to the defendant. Which spell would have left a trace of necromancy? If the victim wasn't killed with necromancy, why was there a trace of it on the body? I'm glad you asked. I'd like to present a spell that could have left a trace of necromancy on the body. It is the Cure Wounds, Mend Wounds. Mend Wounds? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a healing spell? That's correct, Your Honor. Spells from the School of Necromancy control the forces of death and life. Mend Wounds is, in fact, a necromancy spell. Really now? I wasn't aware of this. Now, I'd like the court to consider the following. What would happen if Bellwether was wounded and someone attempted to heal her using Mend Wounds? All of her wounds would disappear from her body. I see.
Objection!
Do you honestly think that I'm that incompetent, Mr. Cuthbert? Frankly, I'm a little insulted. What? The Inquisition is well aware of what happens when a mage attempts to save a victim using Mend Wounds. The healers that arrived at the scene already confirmed that the victim was long dead. None of them attempted to heal her. Well, what if someone tried to heal her and didn't report it? Please, none of the healers would have anything to gain by doing so. So it's probably going to be the sister, so Valerie. And it's a secret that she is able to use magic, maybe? I'm not sure. In fact, as a necromancer, the defendant could have easily carried out the described scenario. He could have cast mend wounds on the victim after murdering her to confound the investigation. At the end of the day, the burden of proof is on you. But if you can just find out who healed the body, this case is yours. And whoever the healer is, Valentina definitely knows her. Your Honor, I'll admit that I don't have any evidence to support my theory. However, I do believe that we can bring it to light. There may have been two people that witnessed someone cast magic on the body. Valentina and Valerie Iannis, the sisters who discovered the body. This is nonsense. We already questioned those two witnesses extensively. If they had witnessed something like that, it would have come up in their testimony. If that's true, you have nothing to lose by hearing their testimony. Very well. If you're so confident, let's hear the witness's testimony. It seems that the prosecution has no objections. However, if this line of questioning leads nowhere, I will see no reason to further prolong this trial. Do you understand that, Mr. Cuthbert? Of course, Your Honor. Oh crap, it's that guy from before. Is he the necromancer's lawyer? She just got on the stand and she's already stretched out. This could work in our favor. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. My name? Witness, there's no need to be so nervous. We merely want to hear about what you saw on the day of the murder. Right, it's just that guy over there, You mean Mr. Cuthbert? Did this man harass you, witness? Wait a minute. Yeah. He did, super harass me. How shameful. I would expect a member of our justice system to behave more professionally. Shut up. Anyways, please state your name and occupation for the court, Miss Iannis. Just calm down. He can't prove anything. My name is Valentina Iannis. I'm a member of the kitchen staff at the Wyvern Imperial Academy. As I recall, you were one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Apparently, the defense finds your involvement suspect. Rest assured, Miss Iannis. In this courtroom, you will be protected from Mr. Cuthbert's harassment. Now please testify to the court on what happened that day. Yeah. I would like to charge her for perjury and defamation. I was walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in a nearby classroom. We looked over to see what it was. That's when we saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. My sister tried her best to help her, but the professor had already lost a lot of blood. While my sister did that, I used an emergency communication device to call for help. But it was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she already lost too much blood. If your theory is true, that means she just lied in her testimony. She's definitely holding something back. She definitely saw more than she's letting on. You just need to prove that somehow. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Wait, she just said that the thing was bleeding, so it was her blood, so it's clear that healing was used. Okay, walk to the West Wing. Where are you two coming from? We came from the kitchen. We are taking a break after the lunch rush. The cafeteria is on the west side of the academy. It's believable that they be on the side of the building. What did you see in the classroom, Miss Iannis? Look to see saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. Did you notice anything strange in the lecture hall? Well, there was that terrible smell. It was awful. I almost couldn't see because of how much I was tearing up. But other than that, I was mostly focused on the professor. It makes sense. It'd be hard to notice anything else. Let's see. I already lost a lot of blood. She tried to help her. Miss Iannis, how exactly did your sister try to help Miss Bellwether? What? I just slipped up. My sister used first aid to try to stop the bleeding. I see. Could you please add that detail to your testimony? Yeah, sure. She used first aid and applied pressure to her wounds to stop the bleeding. Your sister knows how to use a first aid kit? Yeah, it was covered in our training when we first started working. With all the nobles around, I guess the headmaster wanted to make sure we were prepared. Oh, while my sister did that, I used an emergency communicator, a device. It's an artificial device that allows for long-range communication. Some of those devices are placed around the school for use during an emergency. I see. So who did you contact? I wasn't sure, honestly. I could hear a lot of people talking on the other end. That particular device broadcasts to the headmaster's office and the city watch's barracks. Huh, okay, a lot of people heard that then. I imagine that's why the headmaster was able to activate the lockdown so quickly. I see. But it was too late. I see. That must have been a difficult experience for both of you. It was especially hard on my sister. I think she blames herself for not being able to save her. We didn't like Professor Bellwether, but we still didn't want her to die. She seems sincere when she says that, and you don't see any dissonant thoughts through the eye either. Honestly, her testimony makes a lot of sense. It's hard to figure out which parts she might be lying about. There has to be a contradiction here somewhere. Your theory is that Valentina saw someone use mend wounds on Bellwether. You should focus on that statement and that describe how they both interacted with her. Okay, so it's gonna be the new statement that popped up. So it's gonna be this one. First aid, applied pressure to her wound to stop the bleeding. So is this gonna be the autopsy where, you know, it wasn't bleeding? I'm not exactly sure. But you know what, let's try it.
Objection!
Yeah. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Okay, I'm glad like I pointed this out when she was talking. She's like, wait, she was bleeding? She was stabbed? She was bleeding out. That's literally not the that literally contradicts the prosecution's argument. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Maybe I can elaborate, Miss Llanos. You weren't present in the gallery earlier, were you? No, I was waiting in the lobby. Lady Steelwind told me to wait there. Well, I suppose I should consider myself lucky. You see, Miss Llanos, one key element of the case is that the body didn't have any wounds on it. Yeah, so? So please explain to the court, Miss Llanos. How did Valerie apply first aid when there shouldn't have been any wounds on the body? What? Oh no, I screwed up. But I saw that wound on her. What happened? There's clearly something amiss here. But I'm afraid I don't fully understand the implications of this. Are you accusing the witness of committing perjury, Mr. Cuthbert? When someone lies, they stay as close to the truth as possible while changing minute details. In her thoughts, Valentina said that she was sure that she saw a wound on the Miss Bellwether. And she mentioned that Valerie was the one that tried to save the professor. If she didn't try to save Bellwether with first aid, could she have used magic instead? Yep. Okay, saw this coming. Her sister could be the mage that we're looking for. The witness was lying, Your Honor, but not about everything. Valerie Llanos did try to save the victim's life by addressing her wounds. Oh wait, I was wondering, like, how can we prove that she's a mage? Oh no, we don't have it anymore. But like, I was thinking, you know that book that Eris gave us? That could technically prove someone that, you know, they are a mage by putting their hand on it, and after 10 minutes, there would be spells there. Valerie Llanos did try to save the victims by addressing her wounds, but she didn't use first aid, she used magic. Oh no, he found us out.
Objection!
I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but your theory is completely flawed. How so, Miss Steelwind? Well, it's quite simple. You've already verified that neither of the sisters are mages. What? Wait, how can you be so sure? During the investigation, we had both Llanos sisters attuned to a spell compendium. Oh, okay. It's standard procedure for the Inquisition when interviewing witnesses. Then that means that's correct. Neither of the Llanos sisters could attune to a compendium. Yeah, that's right. The Inquisition checked both of us out. Neither of us are mages. Whew, that was close. Damn it. Were you wrong about Valerie being a mage? No, you can read her thoughts. No, that can't be right. No, he found us out. Her thoughts said he found us out. That means that you were on the right track. Valerie has to be the mage you're looking for. Celeste, is it possible for a mage to hold a spell compendium and avoid attuning to it? No, it just needs to be on their person. When I was arrested, the Inquisition also made me attune to one of their spell compendiums. They were really careful to make sure that I did the attunement correctly. There's no way a mage could avoid attuning to a compendium with them watching you. Right, Commander White may be negligent at some times, but he isn't that careless. Okay, so what could this mean? I mean, I feel like the obvious answer is they switched out, so basically they used the spell compendium on Valentina twice. Now, if you're done, I do believe that you exhausted all your options. Wait, I'm still not done cross-examining the witness. What could you possibly hope to glean from her testimony? Valentina should be stressed out enough to see more of her thoughts. You can't exactly say that you're planning to read her mind. There's one key element of her testimony that the court is overlooking. I have the right as an attorney to complete my cross-examination. Your Honor, the defense is clearly trying to buy time. I might be compelled to agree with you. However, I also admit that some elements of the witness's testimony are quite particular. I will allow the defense to perform one more cross-examination. Ooh, that was close. But no, this is your last chance, Mr. Cuthbert. If you produce nothing substantial, I will pass my verdict. Of course, Your Honor. All right, it's all or nothing. If you can't find anything by reading her mind, this whole case is finished. Witness, please give your testimony once more. Okay. Damn it, how long does he plan to keep me up here? Witness's testimony. Like I said, my sister and I saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. We rushed over to her. I was definitely surprised when I saw her like that. Now that you mention it, I don't know if I saw any wounds on her, but I definitely saw blood. I can't go back on that now. I just need to play dumb. My sister tried to save her, but she didn't use any magic. Valerie, you're too kind-hearted for your own good. None of us is a mage. Both of us held that book and the knights gave us. I was caught off guard when they asked us. They almost found us out. The commander was watching us the whole time. He can confirm it. It's a good thing that we're twins. Or, yeah, there we go. Or that else that trick wouldn't have worked. What are we gonna do? They have pretty hard proof that Valerie isn't a mage. Valerie is the mage we're looking for. I'm sure of it. I'm just not sure why they felt the need to lie to the Inquisition. And more importantly, how did they trick the Inquisition? Okay, yeah, this is pretty obvious. But, press! That matches the detail of her previous testimony. You have no reason to doubt this. Okay, so all this will happen. Let's see. I'm kind of curious about this. The commander was watching us the whole time. It's a good thing that they're twins. Did you pull some kind of trick to deceive the Inquisition while tuning, Miss Ionis? Of course not. We know that lying to the Inquisition would get us in trouble. Why would either of us take a risk like that? Living as an unregistered mage is a serious crime. If Valerie was a mage, you would have been charged with fraud right then and there. Yeah, but we already proved that neither of us are mages. The eye seems to differ. Think through this. This isn't like a normal cross-examination. Nearly all our thoughts will be suspicious and contrary to her testimony. What you need to do is find a thought that gives you a thread to pull on. In this case, you need to find a thought that implies that the twins tricked the commander. Find a thought that holds that clue and interpret it to proceed. Interpret. Okay, so interpret. Let's try this one.
Objection!
Miss Ionis, your thoughts betray you. What? You found the thought. They must have done something, but what? It must have been when Commander White was interrogating them. Orm was the one who collected their statements. Did you notice anything off about their behavior? Oh, they were circling around him. From what he said, they had a few quirks, but nothing too suspicious. Quirks? He told me that they were running and spinning around him during the questioning. What does that mean? I have no idea. Perhaps they were still on edge after finding their co-worker murdered. Running and spinning. Her thoughts said it's a good thing that we are twins. How did the twins trick the Inquisition? That means their so-called trick wouldn't have worked if they weren't twins. So Valentina switched places with Valerie. Of course, they switched places. Valentina attuned to the first spell compendium, and then she pretended to be Valerie to attune to the second one. Commander White couldn't tell the difference between them. Miss Ionis, there's something I want to confirm. During the investigation, both you and Valerie attuned to a spell compendium. Am I correct? Yeah, that knight watched us do it. And how did he have you do this? Did you both attune to the compendiums at the same time? Or did you attune one after the other? What? No, wait, does he know what we did? I fail to see how that makes any difference, Mr. Cuthbert. Yes, I agree. The spell compendium works regardless of what order they went in. You may not be aware of this, Your Honor, but Valentina and Valerie Ionis are identical twins, which meant that their physical appearance are nearly identical to each other. If Commander White didn't have attuned them at the same time, what would stop the twins from switching places with each other?
Objection!
This is clearly nothing but basic conjecture. Orm wouldn't fail at such a basic test. Really, Prosecutor Steelwind? Did you find it hard to believe that Commander White would fail at a task like this? Okay, you got a point. Wait a minute, this is crazy. We didn't trick the Inquisition. My sister and I aren't mages. Then prove it, Miss Giannis. Bring in your sister and we'll have you attuned to 2 spell compendiums at the same time. No, wait. Order in the court. It's clear that we won't get anywhere unless we test the defense's theory. Bailiff, escort Valerie Giannis to the stand and bring 2 unattuned spell compendiums. They both have their hands on the compendiums for the last 10 minutes. There's no way they can fake it in front of this many people. Alright, it's a moment of truth. You can only hope that your theory is correct. No! Did he seriously? What is it, Prosecutor Steelwind? What did you see? What I see is Commander White seeking new employment in the near future. It appears that the defense was correct. Valentina Giannis isn't a mage, but Valerie Giannis is. What's more, Valerie Giannis' compendium contains Mend Wound spell, which makes the defense's theory entirely plausible. Please, just allow me to explain. We should allow you to explain what exactly? You're an unregistered mage, and you and your sister have made fools of us, all of us, with your perjury. Oh, so this is Valerie, okay. How would you know what it's like, Lady Steelwind? What? Do you think that we didn't notice your name? You're not like us. You don't have to hide. Whatever. This whole situation has gotten out of hand. I didn't think that hiding it would cause so much trouble. I wouldn't let someone go to prison because of me, even if he is a necromancer. Please, let me testify about what I saw. I'll tell you what happened that day. Very well. But understand that there will be repercussions for your actions, witness. Yes, I know. I actually feel really bad for her because she's essentially going to be put to jail for trying to help someone. My sister and I were walking the hallway from the kitchen to the foyer. Then I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in a nearby classroom. Valentina used the communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast Mend Wounds to close her wounds. But it was too late. I closed this hole in her stomach, but she was already dead. There was a hole in her stomach. Your Honor, as you can clearly see from the witness's testimony, the trace of necromancy was left by the witness, not my client. What's more, it's clear that there was a physical wound on the body. I see. Well, his words trail off. He clearly doesn't want to pass a verdict when there's no clear culprit. He has no choice. The case against Wallace is predicated on Bellwether being killed by necromancy. With Valerie's testimony, the prosecution doesn't have a shred of evidence implicating him. Very well. The court sees no reason to prolong this trial. Object. Okay. With these new developments, the court has no choice but to find Wallace Knightgate if not. Objection! I believe the court is ignoring one key detail of the witness's testimony. And what would that be, Miss Steelwind? Let's re-examine the witness's testimony. Valentina used a communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast Mend Wounds on her to close her wounds. But it was already too late. I closed the hole in her stomach, but she was already dead. Already dead. Oh. The communication device that Valentina Giannis used logs the time of day during each use. From this log, we know that Valentina used the device at 3:04 p.m. This was an hour after the time of death. Where are you going with this? Mr. Cuthbert, there is a witness who saw the victim before the body was found, Jan Hughes. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found. I was cleaning the hallways. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards and dirt everywhere. It was probably 20 to 30 minutes before the twins found the body. 20 to 30 minutes before the body was found. Did you see this discrepancy, Mr. Cuthbert? Wait, that can't be right. Bellwether died more than an hour before the body was found? How did John see her half an hour after her death? I wonder, Mr. Cuthbert. How could one make a dead body move and walk around? No, you can't mean. There was more than one piece of evidence that pointed to a necromancer committing the crime. The defendant murdered the victim and used necromancy to animate her corpse. An undead, created within the Imperial Academy? How reprehensible. That's ridiculous. She had a hole in her stomach when the twins found her. Jan Hughes would have noticed that. Animate corpse stops the flow of blood. She wouldn't have tracked blood anywhere. The defendant is also proficient with the illusion magic. He could have easily used an illusion spell to hide the undead Bellwether's wounds. But another party could have easily used illusion magic to disguise himself as the victim. If that were true, how did they move the body to the classroom? Miss Steelwind, if your theory is true, then that means the murder occurred elsewhere. Would the Inquisition happen to know where? Regrettably, we do not. And the prosecution's case against my client is still faulty. You can't convict my client without more evidence. I agree, Mr. Cuthbert. Yeah! With each new development, the court sees it fit to suspend the trial for the time being. We will give the law enforcement time to investigate these unknowns. Court proceedings for this case will resume tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned. Alright, that makes sense. Okay. Well, yep, we're outside. Hey, are you feeling okay? A body is seen moving around an hour after death? It clearly wasn't Bellwether, or at the very least, she wasn't alive when this happened. So what was it? Tyrion? There's illusion magic involved, there has to be. But which spell was it? Could it have been an illusory disguise? Tyrion! What? You've been quiet since the trial ended. You're making me worried. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about what Miss Steelwind said. I keep saying Miss for some reason. You mean about her theory? It's a little creepy when you think about it. Do you really think someone turned the professor into an undead? I don't think so, but the prosecution's case is hinged on one clear fact. That Wallace was the only high-level necromancer nearby. We have to assume that he's the only person capable of using that type of magic. But then, how was she walking around? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It was given that Wallace didn't touch the body, so we can't discount the use of high-level necromancy. No matter what, someone used an illusion. I mean, yeah, there are traces. Then aren't there spells that can create freestanding illusions, not just disguises? I honestly don't know. We need to talk about someone who knows about that type of magic. Wait, didn't Eris say that she was studying illusion magic? She might be able to tell us if something like that is possible. Is that really a good idea? What do you mean? What if she's the one who created the illusion? What? You're detecting fear from her again. Celeste, are you scared of Eris? What? No! I saw it this morning too. You always get really scared when she's around. Uh-oh! I thought I was doing a better job at hiding it. Sorry, it's not based on anything real, but for years, I've been working as a necromancy. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I've been working as a mercenary. Whoops. Oh no! Oh, arrest Celeste! She's a killer! She is a necromancer! Oh my god. When you do that kind of work, you build an instinct to sense danger. You kind of have to if you want to stay alive. Sorry, I never knew. Tyrion, I fought literal monsters and barely escaped with my life. But when I'm near Eris, none of those creatures even come close. I get this feeling. It's like I'm in front of a predator that I couldn't even hope to beat. Every instinct I have tells me to run away when she's close by. Really? But she doesn't seem that dangerous. I know. Maybe I'm just anxious or something. I should know better than anyone not to judge people by their appearance. Sorry, forget I said anything. If you think we should talk to her, then we should do that. You're not one to discount, Celeste's instinct. She's always been reliable, and if Eris is making her scared, that must mean something. But if Eris is really that dangerous, then that's all the more reason to talk to her. But aside from that, there was also something else that the prosecutor said. Mr. Cuthbert, there was a witness who saw the victim before the body was found, John Hughes. He, along with the other witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found. He, along with another witness. I forgot about that part. He said, along with another witness. That meant that there was another witness that saw Bellwether walking around. Right. Jan probably isn't the most reliable witness, so talking to that other person might help us figure out what happened. Is it gonna be the headmaster? That's the only other character we know. Or I guess Eris, but I don't know. No, Eris was with us literally the entire time. But she also has illusion magic. But do you think Steelwind would tell us who that witness was? At this point, we don't lose anything by trying. In any case, it looks like you have your work cut out for you. So where should you start first? Alright. Well, that's the end of the court proceedings. We got through a lot of it, honestly. I didn't think we'd finish the courtroom today, but I did play a little bit longer, but I thought it was going to end soon. So I definitely called that thing with the twins. I knew that the sister was a healer. I knew that they probably switched during the interrogation. Also called the thing with the body, which is like, you know, I mean, They end up throwing it out real quick, but it's like the thing with healing the wound and whatnot. So far, so good. But yeah, we'll continue with the investigation next time. Until then, I will be seeing you. See ya!